Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center. Man, as you can see by the title, I'm coming at y'all back with some New Orleans Saints information, if that's what you can call it. So here's the thing, man. On a serious note, I've made a video, the video before my last video, and I was just talking about how I thought in a lot of ways that the Saints offense was kind of overhyped. I think that it was more so smoke and mirrors. I don't think that they played any high level competition, which they didn't, and a lot of Saints fans got in their feelings, and it's like, hey, sometimes the truth hurts. So looking at what Tampa Bay was able to do to the Eagles, right? If you're not sure about it, go back and watch that and then come back and watch this. Look at what Tampa Bay did to the Eagles. And you'd say, okay, we couldn't beat the Eagles, right? Eagles beat us. We could barely even score more than 20, 30 some points on them, and Tampa Bay just ran the scoreboard up on them just like that. It was just that easy. Now you can say, okay, well, this person was injured, that person was injured, and this person was injured. Well, this person and that person was injured whenever they played us as well, because I'm a Saints fan, by the way. They were injured when they played us as well, and we didn't make them look like that, and we was at home on top of it. So I got to analyzing it, man. Like, I really got to looking at our loss yesterday to Atlanta, man. We dominated Atlanta in every aspect. You know, Atlanta struggled on offense. They might have scored one touchdown on offense, but two of their touchdowns came from one was from a muff punt from Shaheed, and then a pick six that Derek Carr threw to the linebacker. And then I think all the other points, man, all the other points might have been field goals. Like, I don't remember if they scored a point offensively. That's what I'm saying. So when you look at the penalties, for the most part, they outweighed us in penalties and penalty yards. When you look at time of possession, for the most part, we outweighed them in time of possession. So it's like, when you look at all those categories, I think we probably was higher than them on third down efficiency and everything. Probably red zone, percentage in terms of scoring, but we still lost the game. So I was looking, and I said, okay, the last few years, a lot of blame has been going on the coaching. All right, last year we were saying, who fault was it? Pete Carmichael, right? We get rid of Pete Carmichael. So now we bring in Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak brings in this phenomenal offensive scheme similar to the 49ers. Everybody's loving it. Every Saints fan in America was high off of the first two games, which wasn't substantial enough for us to say, okay, we really like that. For me, it wasn't. I just looked at the Panthers, who are a struggling team, and the Cowboys, who just can't put the pieces to the puzzle together, and we dominated both of those teams. Now, we dominated the Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens, teams like that, 49ers, then I can say, okay, we legit. But we're dominating teams technically you're supposed to dominate if you are a high-level caliber NFL team, and we couldn't do that. So I'm analyzing it, right? And I'm looking at the game a lot. It ain't the defense. It ain't the coaching. We had one special team hiccup, and I can't even say that it's necessarily special teams, because other than that, Shaheed does so much for the offense, so it would be wrong for us to put that much blame on him for making one mistake, and a mistake that a lot of other players make, so we can't just put that on him. So I'm analyzing it, right? And as you can see by this title, I realize what the common denominator is into our stagnancy as a team, and it's the quarterback. Realistically, it's the quarterback. Hate it or love it. You know what I mean? Some of y'all might fail to acknowledge it, but it's the quarterback. It is the quarterback. That is the reason why the Saints offense isn't consistently as good as it can be. Because any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come out and put up 40-some points on the on the Carolina Panthers. Any Tom, Dick, and Harry can come out there and put up 40-some points on the Cowboys team who's struggling to have 40-some more points put up on them the following week at home again. You see what I'm saying? So how much credit do you get for that? So anybody, when you run up on a supposed to be good team, you fold. But I remember, I was talking to somebody and he was telling me, it was my grandfather. My grandfather was telling me when we was talking about the Saints and the Cowboys, he called and wanted to know my opinion on it. And he was like, yeah, I just think that the Cowboys are going to put pressure on Derek Carr up front with their D-line. And we all know that that's what they do with Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. We know that they're going to bring that heat. So I said, okay, yeah, I agree with you on that. But I was like, the way that you combat that is getting the ball out the quarterback's hands early. Whether it's wide receiver screens, whether it's running back screens, whether it's slant routes, whether it's out routes, something that's quick breaking routes to get the ball out of his hands so the pressure can't really affect him. So I guess for whatever reason, we went out the door with that against the Eagles and his previous week. But then I noticed too, I'm listening to what the commentators were saying, and they were just showing statistically how horrible Derek Carr is against high pressure front lines. And I noticed, if you look back in that game, go back and watch the game now. Go back and watch it. It's a lot of plays in that game where the defense was crumbling in on him and he just threw the ball. He didn't look to see where he was throwing it. He didn't even care to see where he was throwing it. He was just trying to get the ball out of his hands so he didn't take a hit. And that, as a quarterback, you cannot do, especially at the NFL. We know from Pee Wee to elementary, middle school, high school, college, and damn sure the NFL, a part of the game is getting hit. It's just that simple. So that shows me that you've been in the league for 10 some years. You've not had any success. You might have made the playoffs one time out of the 10 years, 10 plus years you've been in the NFL, right? Only thing that most of us know about you is the injury that you sustained in your career. That's it. We don't know nothing in terms of your play. And some people might say, well, he didn't have nothing in Las Vegas. Well, he got some in New Orleans and he still can't do it with some in New Orleans. So at what point do the excuses stop happening? Like, I'm learning that for a quote from a wise man: patience and understanding can get you fired. And I'm gonna chalk that up to a head coach, patience, or offense, or a quarterback's coach, or offensive coordinator. Patience and understanding can get you fired. How much does it take to see that a guy just isn't that? So look at Clint Kubiak's offense, right? It's phenomenal. You look at what it can be within those first 2 weeks of the NFL, and you look at these next 2 weeks. So what happened from here to here? Some of y'all gonna say, okay, Taysom Hill was hurt. I mean, yeah, he was. I can't take that away from him. But does the offense go from here to here just because one person that's not your quarterback get hurt? Right? Look at Kansas City. They lost Hollywood Brown. Rashid Rice just got hurt. He might even be gone for the season. Isaiah Pacheco. And they're still finding ways to win. Why? Because of the quarterback. You don't go from here to here in any other position, maybe your offensive lineman, a left tackle, a position that's that valuable, but one person don't leave and it everything just declines down. A good coaching supposed to be next man up. So now I'm not focused on the coach right now. We're focused on Derek Carr, but I'm just trying to give you guys that analogy of the situation. So look at Derek Carr, right? Look at the offensive scheme. It's a beautiful offensive scheme. And we've seen what it can be when it works and when it's executed to a T, right? So you take a player like Derek Carr. You look at, I think a lot of the play calling in New Orleans is they're not fully trusting in him, which nobody does. I know I don't, right? So we can't put him in a position to have to win us a game. So when you look at the common denominator at the first two games, so I'm trying to get y'all to understand what I'm saying. With the Panthers and the Cowboys, we jumped up early on them, right? So now from there, it's more of a game managing type situation now. Because either when the score is 0-0, we're even, or when we jump up early, we're ahead. So now all we got to do is he can maintain. But if it's in a position where we say, hey man, we need to put up 7 points on this board. This is for the game. We need to put up 7 points. He's not that type of quarterback. And no amount of coaching can make him be that type of quarterback. I don't give a damn how good your coaching is. If a player is only capable of doing what they're capable of, no amount of coaching can alter that. No amount of coaching can turn Derek Carr into Tom Brady. No amount of coaching can turn Derek Carr into Aaron Rodgers. No amount of coaching can turn Derek Carr into Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, any of the great quarterbacks that Drew Brees you can think of. No amount of coaching. Right? So at some point you have to understand within this system and coaching, a certain player, his max capability is here. And what we need from him is to be here. And no amount of coaching can separate that defense. Because you can't bring out of somebody what they don't possess. When you look at Derek Carr does not strike me as a quarterback who is sure of himself. When I watch Baker Mayfield play, when I watch Patrick Mahomes play, when I watch Josh Allen play, when I watch Joe Burrow play, when I watch all of these individuals play, they strike me as guys that's sure of themselves. They know they are the stuff. They know that they are an NFL quarterback. They know that they are the leader of this team. They know that they are the backbone of this team. I don't get that from Derek Carr. Derek Carr looks timid and terrified most of the time that I see the camera on him. Only time he's celebrating is when he winning. It's a quote. Now, y'all remember in The Last Dance, if you've seen The Last Dance, you remember when Michael Jordan was sitting in his locker smoking his cigar with his bat and just playing with the bat. And then he was talking about the guy who talked noise to him. And he was like, we're gonna see if that noise talk started at the beginning of the game. He was like, it's easy to talk noise when you ahead, when it's a 10-point lead, 8-point lead. He was like, the signs of a good man is if you can talk noise when the score is 0-0 or when you're losing. So it's easy to come off the sideline crunk and doing all this when you're winning by 20-something points. It's easy to do that. Now, it's hard. Now, let's see if you still got that same. I haven't seen that type of energy the last 2 weeks. This past week and the week before that against the Eagles. I seen it in them 2 games, but what was the common denominator? Blowouts. Early start. But I didn't see that within these last 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to make this video too long, and you guys can let me know what y'all think about it. But I'm just giving y'all my honest opinion. I'm just going to be honest. I do not think that Derek Carr is a championship caliber quarterback. I don't think that Derek Carr, hell, can even be a playoff winning quarterback. I just don't, because he has not done it since he's been in the NFL. So all of a sudden, what's going to change it from him? Because his value is starting to really depreciate because of the age, the older he's getting, right? And I'm not saying that just because he's getting older, he's not no good, because you look at guys like Brady, Rodgers, and Brees, who are still playing phenomenal. But what did I say? He's not that. So you can't expect that out of him, because we can't even get good play out of him in his prime years. Let's just be honest. We're not going to act like every team that he had with Las Vegas or Oakland was just dirt garbage. We're not going to act like that, because we know a lot of other quarterbacks who make things happen. And just before I get off of this, for those who want to say, well, they wasn't blocking, we was missing 2 offensive linemen. Prime example. That's why I know. If you got it, you got it. Joe Burrow. Look at Joe Burrow first 2 years in the NFL. First year, he got hit so much, he tore his ACL. Second year, he was the second, or either the first or second most sacked quarterback other than Ryan Tannehill. And even in the playoff game, when they played, the Cincinnati and Titans played each other to get to the game, to get to the Super Bowl, that dude take a beating the whole game. But what did I see from him? I didn't see no fear. I didn't see no timidness. I didn't see no hesitation. I seen a championship quarterback. Get up, no complaints, on to the next play. So it's several other quarterbacks that's going through way worse pressure and have a lot less to work with than him, and they're putting up numbers. So you can miss me with all the excuses that y'all are probably going to come up with when it comes to this guy. It sometimes just come down to something so simple. Either you got it or you don't. It ain't no debating about it. It ain't no logical thinking about it. I've tried to be logical enough with this guy. The logic is all out the door now. Either you got it or you don't got it. When we talk about these great quarterbacks, these good quarterbacks, even Dak, prime example, right? Dak, he might not be a great quarterback. He's not a great quarterback to me, right? But he's a good quarterback, and he can at least get you to a certain point. This guy can't even get us to the certain point, or the other team he was with to the certain point. I'm just saying. So that is, if you ask me, from analyzing and looking at it, that's the Saints' biggest hindrance. It's not the defense, it's not the coach, it's not the special teams, it's not any of that. And on to the defense. It's not the defense's fault if our quarterback can't put drives together consistently to come up with at least 3 points and allow us to have some time to rest before we got to go back on the field and guard some of the best athletes in the world. We look at pausing the Debo flag. Could that have been played better? Yeah, at the end of the day. But at the same time, if these guys are on and off the field, eventually something like that is going to happen. Eventually. We're talking about guarding some of the best athletes in the world. NFL receivers, NFL running backs, NFL tight ends. And you expect to shut these guys out the whole game? It's unrealistic. And if you played, you know. It's impossible. So we need our quarterback to take control of the ship and lead us to the promised land. And that's not Derek Carr. So until we can get away from the Derek Carr situation, man, I think we're going to continuously be in the same boat that we was in. Because look at us, we're right back to square one. That's just my honest opinion, man. If you disagree with it, let me know in the comments why you disagree with it. And if you agree with it, let me know in the comments why you agree with it, you know. But that is it for this video, man. If you guys did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, click that post notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload, man. Because I got these videos coming back to back. And you don't want to miss nothing. So stay tuned. I'll see y'all in this video. I'm out this thing.